Hi guys, welcome to City Skylines from the beginning. So we are going to start a brand new city. Now, what is City Skylines? City Skylines is a city builder. Some people say it's what SimCity should have been. It's incredibly detailed and there are an incredible number of mods available. And you can see on here we've got the Steam Workshop and there are mods for grass, different vehicles, different buildings, different maps you can play, scenarios, all sorts. And there are also various DLCs, but we're playing with the basic game at the moment, the deluxe version I downloaded. Now, mods. I'm going to look at my mods just to explain what I've got and what we're using, what we're not. So, hard mode, unlimited money, and unlock all progression milestones come with the deluxe version. I'm not using hard mode because it's hard. I'm not using unlimited money because it would make it too easy, as would unlocking all the progression milestones. I've got rush hour, but I'm not using that at the moment. I want to keep this unmodded as far as possible. UK roads, because I'm in the UK, I'm using UK roads. I'm not using unlimited trees or changing the start money. We'll start with a basic 70,000 and work from there. Not using realistic population because that does make it more difficult to get started, and I want you guys to see getting started and getting into a decent map, hopefully. Traffic manager and improved AI I've got in because it enables you to put in traffic lights, take out traffic lights, time traffic lights, and all sorts of stuff, which can be handy later when we need to keep the traffic flowing. Network extensions too I've got because that gives us various different types of roads, which I need for my road strategy, which I'll explain shortly. And 25 spaces means we can unlock the full map, as it says. Normally you get 9, but this expands it to 25, and you can get mods that expand it to 81. But we'll stick with 25, and you'll see what those spaces are all about as we progress. Okay, so let's start a new game. Now, the maps from Grand River down to Lagoon Shore all come with the deluxe version. And as we go down, these maps here are all ones that I've subscribed to and downloaded from the workshop. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go for what's called Skies Greater London. I'm going to put it on left-hand traffic because that's what we do in the UK. We drive on the left. Strange we are, but there you go. And I'm going to call it Capital Summer Nights. Okay, so nice summer nights in the capital. What could be better? Okay, let's start. Well, that'll take a minute or two to load. You've got the asset editor with the deluxe version, so you can build your own intersections and then use them as many times as you want, as it says. Can be cumbersome, keep building intersections, but it's also part of the fun. And you could do raised roads and tunnels and all sorts, so it's endless, the possibilities really, which is great because it means you can do whatever you like and personalize your city, and all cities don't look the same, and so on and so on. And I don't like having everything as square blocks, sort of American style cities, I guess. I tend to have some curved roads and some freaky road junctions and all sorts. As long as the traffic flows okay, we're all right. Now, this guy up here is Chirper. Chirper normally, all his messages open automatically, but you can turn that off in the settings, and I've turned it off because most of the messages are no use really. It's just annoying at the end of the day. I've paused the game at this point because once you start placing roads, you start getting charged for upkeep, and I want to build my initial road structure without getting charged a load for it. So, roads. Now, there aren't many road types available initially. There's a few, but several are greyed out. They're all greyed out, so are they. So the way we get access to a lot more of the road types is to put down a small piece of road, like that, and then bulldoze it out. Okay. Now, the next thing is to start from these roads. The basics is that there are lots of road connections coming in, and they are basically all coming in off the M25, which will be this major road going around London. It's a big ring road that goes around London. And we've got road connections coming in at various places, which I imagine are coming off the M25. This is our initial starting area. After a little while, you get the opportunity to buy another square, and you'll be offered the top one, left one, bottom one, right one. Because any new square you buy has to connect to a square that you're already building in. So you can't buy one over there straight away, for example. So you get one here, you buy one next to it, and then you buy next to that, and so on and so on and so on until you've got 25, if we get that far. Okay, let's now zoom in, and we're just going to have a look at these roads. So what we've got is a 3-lane one-way road coming in. This one goes that way, this one goes that way. So what I'm going to do initially is just continue that for a very short distance, like that. And then one-way roads, the traffic goes in the direction you drag the mouse. So that's going that way, this one's coming this way. Okay, so that is just extending those roads and getting into our city, if you like. Now I'm going to put a roundabout in. We love our roundabouts in the UK, and roundabouts in the game make the traffic flow better. So it can be quite useful. So I'm going to put a roundabout there, like that. Okay, and I'm now going to connect this one way here up to the roundabout like that. So we've got a road coming in, goes in, gets to the roundabout, and then we go from there. Now, the road strategy I've developed, I've been thinking about different roads and speed limits and all that sort of thing. And this road that we were building is £60, dollars, whatever it is, per cell. And it's a 3-lane, one-way road without parking spaces. So when they park, they take up the left lane, basically. And it's 60 mile an hour speed limit. But bear in mind the cost, 60 a cell. If we look at this road, it's a 4-lane road with parking spaces. So that means that when they park, they're not taking up any of the lanes, which effectively still means we've got 4 lanes. On the 3-lane roads, with 2 of those, effectively got 6 lanes, but when they park, they're going to take one of those lanes up. So this is effectively the same, and it's only 53 a cell. Not a lot different, but every penny counts. So I'm going to use 4-lane roads, and I'm going to take from the roundabout a 4-lane road going over here, because this is going to be our industrial area. I'll put it about there. So that's fine. And what I'm then going to do is put another roundabout in. Told you we like our roundabouts in the UK. So straighten it up a bit. There you go. And put it there like that. Okay. So that's fine. So that's the beginnings of our road network. And what I'm going to do now is we're not really going to build here. Go back to the roads because it's easier to see. We're not going to build out here, so we don't really need to do much here. We're going to primarily be building that away and that away, so we want to go sort of there and there rather than coming this way. So I'm going to close off effectively the roundabout, and I'm going to do it with a curved road, and I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, like that, but then you can still build out from there to go into the rest of the industrial area as we go. So that'll be fine. We might, a bit later, when we've got the money, possibly, build a road coming up here to get the traffic from the industrial area straight round here and straight out, but we'll worry about that a bit later. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to connect a 2-lane road to do the same thing here, Okay, now I just need to zoom in and check, because I'd imagine it stuck traffic lights in there. Yes, it has. Don't want traffic lights at this point, they'll just slow everything up too much. So why am I using this 2-lane road? Okay. Within the city, and within cities in the UK, once you get into the city, the road speeds limit is 30 miles an hour. So you wouldn't be zapping around a residential area past schools and everything else at 60 miles an hour. Indeed, a lot of school areas now are getting what are called advisory speed limits, means you don't have to stick to them, but around the school you get an advisory speed limit of 20 miles an hour. So 60 miles an hour, not going to happen basically. So hence I'm using this road, which is 30 miles an hour and is only $20 or £1, whatever it is, 20 per cell. We've also got a one-way road, so if we want to do a one-way network we can, which again is 30 miles an hour and 20 a cell. So that's what I'm going to be using within the zones. So what I'm going to do now is just extend that down a little bit there, bend it round there, and then bend it back onto there like that. And probably have to take out traffic lights again. Are there traffic lights? I think there are. Let's have a look. We'll then do that. Yes, there were traffic lights and they've got. Right, okay, so that is going to be the beginnings of our industrial area, really. And this is going to be our residential area. So I'm going to get my 4-lane road again as the main thoroughfare down into the residential area. Okay, that's fine. 2-lane road again on curved, and I'm going to do the same thing with the roundabout, which is just curve it down there like that. That's fine. So if I zoom in a bit, this is, oh, it doesn't look like I put my 4-lane road in. I thought I had. Okay, I'll put it in now. Like that. That would be far enough. Oh, it's because it's on curved road and it's straight. We'll do it straight road. There you go. Straight road. So we've now gained more traffic lights, which we will remove because I don't want traffic lights at this point. So that is the beginning of our network to bring people into the city and get them to the areas where we want them to go. The next thing will be to zone some area for our residential. So I'm going to do something like that, and then something like that. Okay, so that's all going to be zoned residentially. Now, has it put traffic lights at that junction? I don't think it has. No, it hasn't. It's because it's only a bend. It's not actually a junction as such, it's just a bend. So it hasn't put traffic lights in there. It will do when we connect anything else onto it probably, but we'll take them out at the time. Right, so that's okay. So that's got us started with some roads. Now, nobody's going to move in unless they've got water. Fairly basic human requirement. So we need some clean water coming in and some sewerage outlet to get rid of the poo. Now, these arrows on the river you can see are pointing right to left, so that is the flow of the river. And you want your sewage outlet to be downstream from your clean water intake. So we'll put a clean water intake there, and we'll put our sewer outlet there. If we put the sewer outlet there, what would happen is it all flows out into the river, comes back here, gets taken in with the clean water, and everybody gets very ill very quickly. So we'll put it there. We then connect them up with a pipe, and then we're going to run the pipe around the city. Usually the thing I forget to do when I do a new zone, I always forget to give them water pipes, and then they start complaining and I have to do it. So actually going to remember on this occasion. If I do something like that, that should connect up the whole area. Okay, so I think that's connected up the whole area with water pipes, so that's good. Now, these water pumping things are not going to do anything until they've got power. And we need to give them electricity. Excuse me. Now, there are a couple of ways you can do electric. The first one is a wind turbine. Costs 6,000, produces up to 8 megawatts of power, and we will get 7's about the best we can get. The darker these areas, the more power production you get. But you've got to be within your city limits, obviously, of the tile we're working on. But the best we can get is 7. So I will stick it there, and that will produce 7 megawatts of power. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to get a coal power plant, and I'm going to chuck that down here, out of the way from the residential zone, so there's not too much pollution, but in the industrial zone. So it'll be down there, out of the way, and we can then just zone some industrial stuff around that, and that will produce 40 megawatts of power, hopefully. So if we click here, once we get started, you'll see what the electricity production is and what the consumption is, and you can keep an eye on your availability, and if you get low, you stick in another wind turbine or another power station or whatever. These blue areas are the electricity, where the electricity is reached, so hopefully what will happen as we build around here, and they'll join up, and then all the 40 megawatts from the coal power station will be flown to the city. Okay. And what we need to do is zone some residential areas so that people can move in. So if we go along here, what I'm going to do is basically set, just go to the small brush tool, zoom in, and I'm going to put roughly there as the limit of our residential area in terms of how close it goes to the industry. Okay, something like that. Around the roundabout we can have residences around here. Yeah, that will do for now, and we'll zone some commercial down there as sort of like the buffer between the residential stuff and the industrial stuff. And then hopefully what we'll get is power spreading and all that starting to get used. So we should be ready to start. So I'm going to hit the start. I'm going to put on the water tool and make sure water's flowing successfully. So there goes the wind turbine starting up, and there you go, water. And if we check our electricity, you can now see we've got 47 megawatts being produced, 7 from there, 40 from the power station. And you can see it started to spread there because something's been built. So as we watch things get built, we'll see the power starts to spread out. And eventually we want that to connect up with that, so the whole 47 megawatts is being used. Now let's just have a look at our... So we're outputting 40 megawatts, which is what we want, and we've got coal for 8 weeks. Now we will get more coal from the outside world, and that will come down this main road. So with a bit of luck, if we sort of sit like that, very soon we might see a lorry come down that road. And when he does, with a bit of luck, what he'll do is come in here, go round there, down there, and go down that way, or possibly round that way. But either way, you'll get to the power station. And that'll be more coal, and then we can keep producing power for longer. So that's what we need to happen, ideally. So you can see we're building residences quite well. Really want them to build commercial down here, and ultimately industry down this road here. If they build those squares, that should join up with enough. Somebody is complaining they've not got water. Well, that water pipe is not quite connected that little bit. So what I'll do is just run it across, do it as short as possible to save money. Do that. That should get the water, that icon should go away once it flows through the pipes. starting to. There we go, and there goes the icon. So that's going away. So they've now got water. So we're now okay. Okay. So water's covering the entire city. Electricity is beginning to spread, and we need our lorry to come and bring us some coal, ideally. I'll just talk about milestones. The first milestone we reach is at a population of 550. We're currently at 98. When we get that, we can start setting taxes, bring in more money, and we need to build a landfill site for the garbage, an elementary school for education, and a medical clinic for healthcare. So that will happen there. When you get to the second one, at a population of 1100, it opens up another 2 by 2 kilometre square. So each of these squares on the map, get rid of that, each of these is 2 by 2 kilometres, and we've got one at the moment. And once we get to that second milestone, 1100 population, we can buy ourselves another one if we want to. Don't necessarily buy it straight away, but the option is there. So we've got some traffic coming in, seems to be all cars at the minute. They're no doubt going to the houses. That, mate, is not an ideal place to park. Thank you. Park right on the corner. I mean, is that really a good idea? Is it not an offence to park that close to the corner? Sure it is. So we've got 4-lane roads going down here, 2 lanes either side. In the UK we call them a dual carriageway. In City Skylines they have a 60-mile-an-hour limit. In the UK they actually have 70. Okay, just watching what that car was doing. Okay, so yeah, 60-mile-an-hour limit, and then we've got these minor roads within the actual zones, which will be 30-mile-an-hour limit, which is perfectly realistic for the UK. Ah, there's a lorry. Let's see if he's going to the power plant. Yes, that's what we want. So he's going to the power plant, and he's bringing coal. Bless him. So why have you stopped there, mate? Are there traffic lights there? Yeah, there's a set of traffic lights there. Get rid of them. Okay. So you should go round that roundabout and come down here to the coal power station. So at the moment we've got 4 weeks. We'll have more than that in a second. Looks incredibly slow when you're doing 30 mile an hour, but that's what it is for real in the UK. And around schools, you're now getting 20 mile an hour limits. Advisory 20 mile an hour limits. You don't have to stick to them. Coal has now gone to 11 weeks. So 30 mile an hour is not unreasonable for the UK. Looks slow, but feels slow sometimes when you're driving, especially if you've just been coming down a motorway doing 70 or something, pulled up into a town and you get to 30. It feels slow, but there you go. So he's going out. One of the really cool things about City Skylines is you can zoom right in, you can click on buildings and it tells you what they are. It's the Park Residence. That one's the Olive Residence. So they've all got names. And if you zoom right in like this, you can follow the road like that. You can go around your city like this. And you'll see people walking around. Somebody's walking there. What are they doing? There you go. Leighton Walker resides at the President Residence. He's unemployed. He's going to neighbourhood shop. Excuse me. Slightly dry throat. Apologise if you could hear that phone ringing in the background. That's the house phone, and not sure if you would have heard it. It's not that loud, but if you did, I apologise. We can't control when people are going to ring, unfortunately. He's going to the coal power plant as well, so we can have loads of coal, so shouldn't have a problem with that. So yeah, you can zoom right in, you can click on cars, you can click on people, you can rename them all, you can do pretty much what you want. Yeah, my throat. Because we're using UK roads, you can see no entry signs, double yellow lines, no parking, one-way signs, all very realistic to UK. So things are ticking along, I think we would have to say. And what might be a good idea down here is actually to connect these roads. I'll put in some more traffic lights, but I'll take them out in a second. What I'm going to do there is I'm going to put a bend in and connect it onto the roundabout. Like that. This makes it easier for people going down here. If they're going to a house down here, they haven't got to all the way down, turn around. Yeah, I do apologise for my throat. Okay, so I think it just put some traffic lights in, didn't it? There. So, you hit switch traffic lights and click on the junction, it takes them away. Might need them later. I mean, you might need traffic lights to regulate your traffic flow at some point, but at this point it would just slow everything down, and I really don't need that. Right, I think it's built all of our residential stuff, so we need to zone more. I'm not going to zone inside the roundabout. I don't think anybody wants to live on a roundabout, but zone round it like that. There we go. How's power doing? Well, it's spreading. It's a bit slow, but it's spreading. We've zoned all the area, so with a bit of luck it will start building here, but the only demand at the moment is for residential. There's no demand for commercial or industrial. That's what we need to fill up these areas down here and connect us up to the power plants. If we struggle, we could always run some temporary pylons coming out from there to take power to the city. So we're on 182 population. It's not going up terribly quick, but that's probably because I just zoned all those residential areas, so people moving there and it'll keep increasing. There you go, 202 now. We're actually losing money at the minute, but the rate at which we're losing it is falling. And we have got 7 grand available, so we're okay with that. We shouldn't need to spend any money, particularly at this moment. So that is us started, really, and you can see more and more stuff is getting built. So much so, I'm going to start zoning more residential stuff ready for people to move into. We're a popular little city. So that is the beginnings of our city, guys. What do you think? Comment. Tell me what you think. I don't know. I mean, 30-mile-an-hour roads within residential areas and commercial is pretty standard for the UK. I suppose that's 50 kilometres an hour. So I don't know how that compares with what you guys do, but you don't want people bobbing around near schools and everything else at 60 mile an hour, in my view. So to go down to 30 makes perfect sense. As long as the traffic flows, we'll be okay. If we run into problems, we might have to do something about it, but we'll worry about that later. So join me next time when we'll continue our start and get to the first milestone, hopefully, and buy a few things, raise taxes, increase our cash, hopefully, and develop from there. So I'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye now.